Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. It's time for another top 10 of movies that you can watch for November 2021. Now remember, if you like these lists, share, subscribe, like the video, or even join the membership program or the Patreon to make sure that they keep coming. So let's just dive straight in. Number 10, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Ever since killing the fisherman 1 year ago, Julie James is still haunted by the images of him and causes her relationship with Roy to suffer further. When their best friend Carla Wilson wins free tickets to the Bahamas, Julie finds this the perfect opportunity to finally relax. But someone is waiting for her. Someone who she thought was dead. Someone who is out again for revenge. I love I Know What You Did Last Summer, but the sequel just adds so much more to the story. It's more fun, it's more fitting with the slasher nature. Taking our group of people to a kind of abandoned location and including some quirky characters and some spooky settings really adds a lot to the movie, and it creates this fun environment of which the gore can then take over, and take over it does in really bloody, overly gory fashion. We get this Danny Cannon directed movie that is better than the original. That is super fun. Great way to start November. Number 9, Vivarium. A young couple is thinking about buying their starter home, and to this end they visit a real estate agency where they are received by a strange sales agent who accompanies them to a new mysterious particular housing development to show them a single family home. There they are trapped in a surreal maze-like nightmare. Imogen Poots and Jesse Eisenberg is the young couple who gets taken to this picturesque housing development, and when they turn around, the estate agent has vanished and they find themselves trapped. Unable to find an escape, they have to make do with this environment until one day a box arrives outside their house with a little note on it saying, "Raise this child as your own and you will be set free." And they are forced to raise someone else's child in this household as this makeshift family slowly tears them apart. It's incredibly twisted and weird. There's this surreal nature to the whole environment that just gets under your skin and feels wrong at certain times. I think the performances are amazing, and some of the sequences are really, truly terrifying. There is some wonderful sequences later on where they're almost slipping through realities that is really twisted and different and unusual and completely unique. Vivarium is a really fun, maybe overlong, extended episode of Twilight Zone, which I think is really quirky and very different. Number 8, Porky's. Tommy, Meat, Mickey, Brian and Tim have finally come up with a foolproof plan to lose their virginity. On the other side of town, in a small alligator-infested part of the Everglades, Lud Porky's honky-tonk strip club has everything the boys will need. However, when the dream turns sour, only revenge can right this wrong. Bob Clark's wonderfully hilarious Porky's is one of those movies I discovered late night on TV when I was younger and felt like I was watching something that I probably shouldn't have been watching. Something that stuck with me and has been prevalent all the way through my life. I still find it incredibly funny watching this movie. The antics, the characters, the overly forced after school special elements about religion and persecution shoved into the storyline. Even as abrasive as they are, I still kind of like them. I think they're funny. Porky's is laugh out loud, it is lewd, it is funny, it is over the top, it's so endearing with the characters. I just utterly love this movie. Number 7, Night and Day. Looking forward to attending her sister's April's wedding, the commitment-shy tomboy and classic cars aficionado, June, catches a plane to Boston. Then, out of the blue, she crosses paths with the handsome and charming stranger with a killer sense of humour, Roy. And just like that, June's life will never be the same again. Directed by James Mangold, starring Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise, this seems to be a forgotten movie. I recently rewatched it and I had a lot of fun with this. I think the chemistry between Diaz and Cruise is palpable. It's really fun. You can tell they're having a great deal of fun making this. The direction by James Mangold is great. The constant action set pieces are terrific, and this strong tongue-in-cheek sense all the way through the movie makes it kind of playful and fun just to sit and watch. Number 6, Casino Royale. James Bond is back with a vengeance. His mission is to take the ultimate gamble and place his life on the line in the arenas of terrorism and the ivory towers of power, taking Bond around the world once more. But it is the Casino Royale where the battle of wit and cunning will take place, taking no prisoners and leaving nothing but death in his wake. As No Time to Die has been released, it's wonderful, it's a fitting close to Daniel Craig's Bond series. I want to go back to my favourite Bond movie, Casino Royale. I think this is such a fantastic opening film, redefining a character and creating the starting plot point that would carry through several movies. Daniel Craig's Bond opener is so impactful. Wonderful characters, terrific action, a movie that left such a lasting mark that echoed through the rest of the Craig Bond movies. What else can I say about this? Utterly fantastic. Number 5, Raising Arizona. Hold Up Man H.I. McDonough and policewoman Edwina marry only to discover that they're unable to conceive a child. Desperate for a baby, the pair decide to kidnap one of the quintuplets of furniture tycoon Nathan Arizona. Then the McDonoughs try to keep their crime secret, while friends, co-workers and a feral bounty hunter look to use Nathan Jr. for their own purposes. The Coen brothers' wonderfully weird comedic movie is just anchored by 2 terrific performances, Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter. There's other great performances in there as well. John Goodman, I feel I should really mention, but they're all so weird. The way this is shot is so quirky. The characters are odd and different. It has a really wonderful kind of heartwarming, funny tale at the heart of it as well. And it's just delivered with great panache, wonderful direction, a sparkling script, and stunning delivery by the perfect actors in the perfect roles. Number 4, Unhinged. A divorced mother honks impatiently at a deranged middle-aged stranger at a red light while running late on her way to work. His road rage escalates into horrifying psychotic proportions as he becomes single-mindedly determined to teach her a deadly lesson for provoking him. Unhinged is a kind of throwback to the genre exploitation movies of the 70s, 80s. You get Russell Crowe as the madman behind the wheel who just takes things way too far in this wonderful thriller. But it's really kind of fun. You're watching Russell Crowe really ham up the screen as a man on the edge, determined because of someone's impoliteness to take brutal revenge, and to see him just escalate things exponentially just because. It's kind of wonderful in its own way. I think Unhinged is a really kind of quirky, fun thriller, well worth checking out. Number 3, Fight Club. An insomniac unnamed narrator needs a fantasy to escape from his deadly boring life. He tries joining a cancer support group. However, the only thing they do in the group is cry. But then he's on a plane on a way back from what the viewer would assume is a business trip, and our unnamed narrator encounters Tyler Durden, a soap-selling badass who happens to run a secret fight club. Fight Club is one of my favourite movies and books as well. I think it's a great adaptation. I think David Fincher directs the hell out of this, and the cast are simply amazing. It's a kind of nihilistic poking fun at the way we have become desensitised males in this modern society where we are driven towards things rather than the people that we are. It still holds up that fantastic viewing. Every time I watch it, I am enamoured by the characters. I'm drawn in by the storyline. I want to see what bleakness and darkness and silliness and dark humour this unearths, and I always enjoy every time I watch it. Number 2, Desperado. A mariachi plunges headfirst into the dark border underworld when he follows a trail of blood to the last of the infamous Mexican drug lords Butcho for an action-packed, bullet-riddled showdown with the help of his best friend and beautiful bookstore owner. The mariachi tracks Butcho, takes on his army of desperados and leaves a trail of blood of his own. Robert Rodriguez' Desperado is another one of those amazing action movies. It just came out of nowhere and was so fresh and so different and so explosive, giving us Antonio Banderas as the action star we never knew we needed. It's filled with cameos of great actors as well, but it's the action, the way it's shot, the stylistic nature of it, the explosive violence that's within this one that brings me back to it and puts a huge smile on my face every time I'm watching this fantastic film. Oh man, I want to go and watch Desperado again right now. Number 1, Midsummer. A couple travels to Scandinavia to visit a rural hometown's fabled Swedish Midsummer Festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. This is a movie that really hammers home the effects of grief, as our main character is driven by that and a horrible action that happens at the start of it. Going with a group of friends to a place where the modern world seems to have evaded. They have their strange cultures that it's hard for them to get their head around, to watch them kind of understand what's going on, to feel the kind of strange terror that is encroaching in amongst them in this world that is perpetually soaked in daylight. It has that otherworldly feel to it, but it slowly creeps up on you and envelops you with a bleak darkness that this movie has on the inside. I think it's terrifically well shot. I think you've got some wonderful performances. I think Florence Pugh is just amazing, absolutely amazing in this one, and it's a movie that I can't highly recommend enough. Please check it out. I think you'll love it. So there we have it, 10 films that I hope you love, or at least find something there that you want to check out, something that keeps your passion for film going this month. I'd love to know your thoughts on this list in the comment box below, and as always there's content up here. You can see more of my stuff, and remember to subscribe, like, share the video, or join the membership program in the Patreon if you really want to support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.